Did I miss the setup getting posted somewhere this week?
There is no major setup for Thompson.
10-4.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the Club Jerky Mayhem Modifieds powered by Major's Garage. Tonight, these SK Modifieds will be taking on Thompson Speedway for 50 action-packed laps. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm excited to call all the racing action here on Intensity Broadcasting. Right now in practice, the driver who we're currently watching is Stephen Rochefort. He is on the top of the board with a 19.20, but between first and second, only 1/100th separates first and second. Thomas Eggleston is in second with a 19.21. Third in practice right now is Logan Powers with a 19.23. Fourth is Scott Rochefort, 19.25. Fifth is Chris Spangler with a 19.28. And if you look, the top 5 is all separated by less than a tenth. So very close racing going on. This should be a fun event. Currently, we've gotten a few races in the book so far, and your point standings are looking like this. There is a 20-point gap between first and second with Eddie Hughes, your current points leader. He's gotten 2 wins this season, while second place, Thomas Eggleston has none. He has 162 points. Third is Logan Powers. He has 2 wins this season. Fourth, Stephen Rochefort. Fifth in points is Sean Langton. So still, only 20 points separates first and second. Anything can still happen here in the point standings, and this race could definitely influence what happens for sure. Now, last week we were at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we didn't get to broadcast the whole race, so if you want to know what all happened, Eddie Smith ended up getting the win, made his way all the way up from the 13th position, and he led 17 laps, didn't exactly dominate the race, but still put on a show. We saw Thomas Eggleston get second. Third place was David Ankenbauer, who led 26 laps. Fourth was Scott Rochefort, and then fifth was Sean Langton. And we do want to thank tonight's sponsor. Starting off, the logo on your screen, that is for Club Jerky. And Club Jerky constantly searches the country to get great tasting beef jerky. Only the best is delivered to their members and gift recipients. You basically select the amount of beef jerky you want them to send you each month. You tell them where to send the beef jerky. It can be to your home, to your office, or even to someone special. And then, like magic, fresh and delicious jerky will arrive in the mail every month. We tried it for my dad's birthday, and it was very. We did the 2 jerky for 3-month plan. We got 2 beef jerkies, a sticker, some toothpicks, and a business card. And both of the jerkies taste good. It's definitely quality beef jerky for sure. So if you're a beef jerky fan, go to clubjerky.com and get you some beef jerky sent right to your door. We also want to thank our other sponsor that's on screen right now. That's Major's Garage. And Major's Garage is the home of free iRacing baseline setups, awesome affordable monthly subscriptions, telemetry, coaching, and more. So if you're looking to maybe get some setups or you want to get better at iRacing, make sure to go to majorsgarage.com and they'll get you hooked up. And Mayhem Racing League is a powered by Majors Garage league. Still have 30 seconds here in practice, just giving these drivers a little bit more practice time, and then we will go on now to to qualifying. 2 laps for these drivers to set their best possible lap time, and then it'll be on to the heat races. And at the end of it all, Stephen Rochefort will be on the top of the practice board with a 19.20. And here we go. It is now time for qualifying. We're going to let our drivers get on the track. And again, they'll have 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. There's Chris Spangler heading out on track now. See Sean Langton exiting the pits. Both of them heading through 3 and 4, getting ready to start their first lap. We see Sean Langton wasn't able to get to the bottom there in turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can. Oh, looks like he's keeping it up mid-groove, almost on that high side. We see Chris Spangler to the top of the board right now with a 19.40. Then it's Sean Langton, 19.41. Third, Thomas Eggleston, 19.44. So these drivers run about 2/10 off what majority of these guys were running in practice. Can these guys improve? See, Chris Spangler does with a 19.39. Thomas Eggleston up to a 19.30. So now it's first Thomas Eggleston, 19.30. Second, Chris Spangler, 19.39. Third, Sean Langton, 19.41. And right now, 900 separates first and second right now. Again, great lap time to that 78 of Thomas Eggleston. Watching Stephen Rochefort. Stephen getting ready to complete his first lap time. He was fastest in practice. He's able to get to third with a 19.33, only 300ths off of first place Thomas Eggleston right now. He's definitely getting there. We got Eddie Hughes on track right now. 19.49 was his first lap time. See if he can gain any more, maybe a 10th or two. Hughes up to fifth, 19.37. And looks like these drivers have 3 laps. That's not normally how many laps these drivers have in this league, but they might have changed it. So now, since Eddie Hughes had that third lap, he was able to get to third with a 19.31, only 100th off of Thomas Eggleston. Got Mike Durfee on track right now. Durfee able to get to 7th on his second lap with a 19.52. Still needs to get about 2/10 if he wants to get up there to that first spot. And there you see he's slowing down. Take a look here at your race info for tonight's event. 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 67% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2 miles per hour wind speed. Track temperature is a little bit warmer at 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And we are at Thompson International Speedway at the 5/10 of a mile oval. Here's our last driver who needs to qualify going on to track right now, and that is Jordan Durant. Let's take a look from that cockpit cam of that number 48 machine. Lap number 1. Keeping it on pretty much on that darker asphalt. Same thing goes for here in 3 and 4. I believe this is his first time lap here. Getting almost down. Woo, a little bit loose there off the corner. 20.04. Still way off of the pole right now. And yeah, he's going to slow down. Going to be starting in last, so whenever he is in. So there you have it. It's looking like Thomas Eggleston and Chris Spangler will be starting on the pole in their respective heats. Here we go. We are gridding for heat race number 1. And it looks like there's only going to be 1 heat race. Normally it's 2. They split everybody up. But so let's take a look at the starting lineup here. With the Wide World of Motorsports Racing Team, 19.302 is his lap time. Thomas Eggleston will be starting on the pole. Outside of him from the Virginias, it's Chris Spangler. In third, it's Eddie Hughes. Outside of him, it is Mr. Stephen Rochefort. And then rounding out your top 5, 2-time winner Logan Powers. In 6th place, it is none other than Sean Langton. 7th, Mike Durfee. In P8, it is Scott Rochefort. 9th is Charlie Hamilton Jr. with Team Mayhem. And then rounding out your top 10, it's the 08 Mountain Dew machine of David Ankenbauer. And then last but not least in the 11, it is Jordan Durant's. So normally in these heat races, basically, the heat races get you points for top 3. So first in the heat race gets third, 3 points. Second gets 2 points. Third gets 1 point. And the top 8 are inverted for the feature. And fourth place in the heat gets you no points, but it will get you the front row. And this is basically an effort to mix up the top finishers a bit and reward for a good heat race. Let's see what goes on here. Again, Thomas Eggleston starting on the bottom. Chris Spangler starting on the top. 10 laps for this heat race. Behind them, it's Eddie Hughes, Stephen Rochefort. Pace cars in. And green flag is out. Here we go. We are green flag racing at Thompson Speedway. And we see Thomas Eggleston is able to get clear of Chris Spangler as we head into turns 1 and 2. But still, Spangler staying right on his back bumper. Chris has Eddie Hughes trying to get under to his rear quarter panel. But Chris Spangler is able to shut the door. Now Spangler, that 33 machine, all over Mr. Thomas Eggleston. He's going to try to make a pass here in the next couple of laps. Trying to get under him, getting closer and closer to that rear quarter panel. Chris Spangler right there. See if he can try to do something here in 3 and 4. And Spangler also has Stephen Rochefort right on that back bumper as well. Thomas Eggleston just ran the fastest lap time of the heat race with a 19.29, even faster than the lap time that he ran in qualifying. Eggleston looking very, very fast right now. We'll see if that's enough to help hold off Chris Spangler. Even faster for Eggleston, 19.23. That modified, that 78 modified is a rocket ship right now. But still, Chris Spangler right there in that back bumper, no matter how much faster Eggleston's lap times are getting, he's still there. We do have a battle for third looking to start to brew between two of the championship contenders, Stephen Rochefort and Eddie Hughes. And Eddie Hughes just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 19.22. He's looking to try to make his way up to the field, and one way to get up there is to get by your third place finisher, Stephen Rochefort. Rochefort is starting to reel in Chris Spangler. I think he might try to make a pass here in the next couple of laps. Rochefort with a 19.17. That's the fastest lap time of this whole day so far. Ran by these SK Modifieds. Stephen Rochefort still all over the back bumper. Another driver you can never count out is Logan Powers. He also just ran a 19.17. Rochefort all over Chris Spangler's back bumper. He's looking to the low side on the back stretch, continuing to just try to set up that pass. He's really getting there. And he also has to keep in mind that Eddie Hughes is right there behind him, taking a shot down to the rear quarter panel. See Rochefort peeking up to that high side, maybe trying the dime in the corners. What's he going to try to do here? Final lap. Thomas Eggleston with a 3/10 lead. He has dominated this heat race. Anybody who's tried to take that lead, he's been able to hold him off. And he is showing why he is in the top 3 in points. I think tonight may be the night that Eggleston gets his first win of the season. We'll see. But so far, he gets a win in the heat race. Thomas Eggleston, your heat race winner. Chris Spangler, second. Stephen Rochefort, third. Eddie Hughes, fourth. Logan Powers, fifth. And we are going to do another 5-minute warm-up before we officially go green flag racing here at Thompson. And this is just going to give these drivers a little bit extra practice time. And the practice time is especially necessary because this league is a open setup league. And all drivers are provided with a setup built by Majors Garage, our series sponsor. And they can either just use the setup as it is, maybe tweak it, make some changes to their personal preferences from the Majors Garage setup, or they can use their own personal setup that they have. So it's really up to you on what you want to do setup-wise, but again, keep this in mind. It is open setup, so it's not only about the driver, but you could be a really good driver, but your setup could hold you back. And so that's what these drivers are going to try to do here. Tweak their setup from what they learned in qualifying and what they learned from the heat race. Car might have been a little bit too tight in the heat race, might have been a little bit too loose in the heat race. Again, it's just all about the personal preferences of these drivers. And once again, we do want to thank Majors Garage for providing the setups for these drivers if they so choose to use them. And again, if you want a Majors Garage setup, this league shows, just how fast these setups are, then make sure to visit their website at Majors Garage. They give away free baseline setups that you can get directly from their website, along with awesome affordable monthly subscriptions, telemetry, and coaching, and more. So if you want to get serious about iRacing, if you want to get better at iRacing, then that's the website to go for sure. And then again, we also have to thank Club Jerky as well for also sponsoring this series. And again, they constantly search the country to find great tasting beef jerky. Only the best is delivered to their members and gift recipients. And you basically choose the jerky that you want, select the amount of beef jerky you want them to send you each month, and then you tell them where to send the beef jerky, your home, your office, or even to someone special, and then you receive the jerky like magic. It's fresh, delicious jerky. It arrives every single month based on how many months you want it to come. It's a good experience. I've tried it, and it was a good experience for sure. So make sure to visit their website, clubjerky.com. So right now in practice, we see Sean Langton on the top of the board with a 19.26. Then it's Chris Spangler, 19.45. We see Eddie Hughes to second with a 19.43. I definitely think Sean Langton is one of my dark horse picks to win tonight's race. He's always been there. He just hasn't been able to get the win. I think he's actually been the bridesmaid a couple times as well so far this season. Langton's been fast. He's gotten a bunch of top fives, and again, I think he's been the bridesmaid a couple of times. But, we'll see what happens here. Can he get the win? Let's look back here at the Heat Race 1 results. We saw Thomas Eggleston get the win. He had a 3/10 lead over second place Chris Spangler. Third, we saw Stephen Rochefort. Rochefort's been fast all season, definitely looking for a win. Fourth, we saw Eddie Hughes. And then fifth was Logan Powers. And then sixth, we saw Sean Langton again. He's kind of my dark horse pick to win tonight's event. 7th was Scott Rochefort. 8th, Mike Durfee. 9th, David Inkbauer. Then rounding out your top 10 was Jordan Durans. 11th was Charlie Hamilton Jr. He had a rough race. So here we go. We are getting set for your 50-lap feature event. Here we go. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. So top 8 was inverted. Here's what the field is going to be looking like. Mike Durfee will be starting on the pole after he finished 8th in the heat race. Then outside of him, it's New England's Scott Rochefort. 3rd is the LNS Customs Late Model Series champion is Sean Langton. 4th, two-time winner Logan Powers. Then rounding out your top 5, we have Eddie Hughes. In 6th place, we have Stephen Rochefort looking to try to get his first win of the season here tonight at Thompson. In 7th, from the Virginias, it's none other than the 33 Goodwrench machine of Chris Spangler. In 8th, it is Thomas Eggleston, another driver looking for his first win. 9th, David Inkbauer. Then rounding out your top 10, Jordan Durans. And then last but not least, it is none other than Charlie Hamilton Jr. So here we go. We are currently pacing at Thompson. Drivers warming up their tires, trying to get as much heat in them as possible for this start. So will we see another common winner get their 3rd win of the season? Eddie Hughes, Logan Powers. Will we see potentially a first-time winner like Thomas Eggleston, Stephen Rochefort, or will we see someone completely out of the blue come out of nowhere and get the victory? Maybe a Jordan Durans, a David Enkenbauer. We will see here when we wave that green flag. So here we go, coming to the green flag. Pace car is in. And green flag is out for 50 action-packed laps here at Thompson Speedway. We see Mike Durfee with the nose as we cross the line, but Scott Rochefort looking to that outside of that 13 machine. And he's getting a great run as well. Scott Rochefort able to get to that lead now. Logan Powers following behind them. So now we're starting to see a battle for the lead. Powers all over Scott Rochefort's back bumper, just trying to set up the pass here. And Scott Rochefort able to lead this first lap. What's Logan Powers going to try to do here? He has Stephen Rochefort right on his back bumper right now. Here's Powers coming into turns 1 and 2. Right now, just watching to see, what Scott Rochefort is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, trying to see how he's going to be able to maneuver around that number 11 vitamin water machine. Your 6th place driver, Thomas Eggleston, just ran the fastest lap time of the race. Eggleston had to start in 8th due to the invert. He is already up to 6th and is continuing to check off names as he makes his way up to the field. Next driver he has to get by is your 5th place finisher, Eddie Hughes, who just got into the wall. He is around through the grass, and he slides back onto the track. That is going to bring out the first yellow of the night. All right, here's a look at what happened. So here's Eddie Hughes coming off of turn number 4. Hughes looked like he almost got into Mike Durfee's back bumper, just slides up into the outside wall and then slides down across Eggleston's nose through the grass, and he barely misses hitting the white wall that would have destroyed his car, but he slides back through the grass and back onto the track, posing a threat to the other drivers, but luckily nobody else hit the 34 machine. That is definitely going to hurt Eddie Hughes' chances of getting his 3rd win of the season, but he's going to try to make his way up to the field when we go back green flag racing. So right now your top 5 is looking like this. See, Scott Rochefort is in first. He was able to get by Mike Durfee on the first lap and has been able to keep the lead. Powers up to second. He followed behind Rochefort. And third is Stephen Rochefort. He is one of our biggest movers of the race. Started in 6th and gained a ton of positions on that start. 4th, Mike Durfee started on the pole, has kind of been falling back. You can tell that the invert kind of hurt him, getting thrust from 8th to 1st. One driver who I thought the invert might have hurt was Thomas Eggleston. Started in 8th, has made his way up to 5th after we saw Eddie Hughes get into the outside wall. He's going to continue to try to get up there through the field. So here we go, getting go back green. Scott Rochefort restarting on the bottom. Logan Powers on the top. Pace cars in, green flag is back out, and there we see Scott Rochefort taking off. We are side by side for second. Here comes Stephen Rochefort. Rochefort looking under that 31 machine, but we see Logan Powers is able to get clear. Now Powers setting his sights on your leader, Scott Rochefort. He is getting right there. Powers going to try to make a pass maybe in the next couple of laps, but we see Stephen Rochefort joining the party as well. Tight battles going on from 1st to 3rd, and then we see Powers trying to look low under that 11 machine as we head into turns 1 and 2. Still quite can't get under him. We see right now Rochefort all over the back bumper of that 31 machine, waiting for Powers to maybe make a mistake while trying to pass your leader, Scott Rochefort. And we are wrecking David Ankenbauer around, bringing out the second caution of the race. And now time for the wreckage replay. Here's David Ankenbauer running tight with Sean Langton, Chris Spangler. We see it looks like Langton might have moved up the track a little bit. That pushes Ankenbauer into the wall. Slides back down into Langton again. It's a little bit loose coming into 1 and 2. And it looks like he was going to be able to save it, but gets loose again. Eddie Hughes barely able to avoid not getting into a second wreck. Let's see. And nobody else got involved, so 2-car incident between Sean Langton and David Ankenbauer. $15 laps through this thing. Here's a look at your top 5 right now. Did see one position change. Scott Rochefort still in first. We see Logan Powers still in second. Rochefort sitting in third right now. And we saw Thomas Eggleston during that little green flag run that we had. He was able to get to that 4th spot, while Mike Durfee fell to 5th. All right, and lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back green here. We will have Scott Rochefort restarting on the bottom, Logan Powers restarting on the top. Can Powers finally get by that 11 machine? We'll see here on this next restart. And green flag is back out there. We see Scott Rochefort taking off side by side between Stephen Rochefort and Logan Powers. Powers with the nose on that high side. He is able to get clear of Stephen Rochefort, and he is looking under Scott Rochefort on the backstretch as we head here into 3 and 4. Powers with the fantastic run. He slides up into the lead. Crossover move from Scott Rochefort. He is looking back low. We see Thomas Eggleston into the grass. He is able to save it side by side still for the lead. Powers keeping that good momentum on the outside. He's able to get to that 1st spot now. Steve Rochefort all over Scott Rochefort's back bumper for that 2nd spot. See, Logan Powers actually just ran the fastest lap time of the race. A lot of that because right now in that clear air, has nobody in front of him, no car in sight, and that's going to help. That clean air is going to help that number 31 machine. Right now, Rochefort all over Scott Rochefort's back bumper for that 2nd spot. We see Eddie Hughes there as well. Ooh, we saw Hughes almost got into that 66's back bumper. Eddie Hughes just ran the fastest lap time of the race. He is all over Rochefort, looking low as we head into turns 3 and 4, but he can't quite get to that 66's rear quarter panel. But, man, continue to watch out for that 34 machine. Here comes Rochefort looking under Scott on the front stretch. He is getting right there. Right now, from 2nd to 4th, you could throw a blanket over these drivers. As we continue to see Stephen Rochefort getting right there. Eddie Hughes almost got into him. We do see a wrecked Charlie Hamilton Jr. around. This is going to bring out our 3rd caution of the race. Here we go. Right now we're watching David Ankenbauer. We see Eggleston gets into his back bumper. That is going to send Ankenbauer around. He gets very squirrely into the outside wall. We see Hamilton Jr. comes plowing in. In fact, he's riding the rails of the wall. And then Ankenbauer through the grass. So a 3-car incident. Hate it for a lot of those guys. A lot of them were having a good run. But you're just going to have to come in, get the damage fixed, and head back out there. And we see Thomas Eggleston entering the pits now, trying to get that damage fixed. He's going to have a lot of front end damage. Not too bad. I'm not sure. And we have less than 25 laps to go right now. Here's a look at your top 5. Logan Powers is in first. Scott Rochefort second. Stephen Rochefort running in third right now in that 4th spot. It's Eddie Hughes, and then rounding out your top 5, it's Chris Spangler. So here we go, coming to the green flag. Logan Powers restarting on the bottom, Scott Rochefort on the top. This is the first time that Rochefort has restarted on that high side. Let's see how he handles it. And green flag is out there. We see Logan Powers taking off. We are side by side for second between Stephen Rochefort and Scott Rochefort. Rochefort able to get to that rear quarter panel of the 11. He's getting right there, but we see the 11 is able to get clear. So now it's side by side for third. Eddie Hughes, Stephen Rochefort beat Bang a little bit. We see Sean Langton there as well. Hughes with the nose as we head onto the front stretch. Almost 3 wide right there. This is a very, very tight battle from 3rd through 5th. We see Hughes continuing to get a good run on the outside. Oh no! Langton into the outside wall, and that's going to cause a huge pileup. But looks like they are not going to throw the caution. That is an interesting decision. So now Eddie Hughes all over Scott Rochefort's back bumper. He gives him a little tap, and there we see the caution finally coming out. So here we go. We were running side by side, Sean Langton and Stephen Rochefort. Just gets a little bit squirrely off a 2 and then hits that outside wall. We see gets a little bit of airtime as well into Chris Spangler, who was actually having a very, very good race. Hate to see it for him. And it looks like it was really a 2-car incident. Thing was, it took a while for the caution to come out. And that definitely hurt Langton and Spangler. So now 18 laps to go, about to be 17. We're getting into the final portion of this race. Sean Langton coming in to get that damage fixed. He is probably going to have a lot from getting into that outside wall. Here's a look at your top 5 right now. Logan Powers in first right now. See Scott Rochefort in second. Eddie Hughes in third. Stephen Rochefort fourth. And then 5th right now, it is Mike Durfee. We do see a car. Looks like that's Chris Spangler. He is going to be getting the lucky dog and getting that lap back. So that's good for him after falling a little bit behind after getting in that incident. So Spangler will be starting in the rear of the field. On this next restart coming up here, we will have Logan Powers restarting on the bottom, Scott Rochefort restarting on the top. These two continue to go at it. I think it's going to be a battle to the end between these two. Pace car's in. And green flag is out. There we see Logan Powers taking off side by side for second. Here comes Eddie Hughes, a roller coaster race for him. He was involved in a wreck, but is since right now battling for that second spot. He has the nose as we head on here to the backstretch. He's getting a great run. And we see Stephen Rochefort there as well behind this side by side battle. They're pretty much equal as we cross the line here. Rochefort just trying to get maybe a little bit of a nose. Here comes, and looks like Rochefort is able to get clear. Now it's side by side for third. Here comes Rochefort, Stephen to be exact, getting a great run on that outside. Stephen is up to third now. And right now, Stephen setting his sights on Scott for that second spot. And look at this, Scott Rochefort with the clean track in front of him. Just ran the fastest lap time of the race, 19.22. I'm surprised he's not catching Powers. He is a little bit, but not a lot. And he still has Stephen Rochefort right on that back bumper. 10 laps to go for these modifieds. Stephen Rochefort continuing to try to set up that pass. Love that onboard view. You get to see all of what Rochefort is doing as he continues to try to chase that number 2 machine. Another battle that we're starting to see is that battle for 5th between Durfee, Hughes, and Langton. Langton's starting to reel in that 13 machine, while the 13 starting to reel in the 34. Sean all over Mike Durfee's back bumper, trying to get a top 5 here. After everything that's happened, that's going to be a big accomplishment for Sean Langton, who's had a roller coaster of a race, up and down for him. Five laps to go for these drivers. If you were holding back and waiting for everything to happen, now's the time to step on that gas pedal and go. You're going to need to push the car as hard as you possibly can if you want to get there and get that win. Here comes Stephen Rochefort again, getting all over Scott's back bumper. Continuing to try to set up that pass. We do see David Ankenbauer got into a wreck. I'm surprised it didn't bring out a caution. That would have been big with a green-white checkered. 3 laps to go now. What is Stephen Rochefort going to do? We see Rochefort looking high, looking low, continuing to set up that pass. 2 to go now, and he's got Eddie Hughes reeling him in. Final lap for Logan Powers. He has a 1.6 second lead, and the gap continues. What a race it has been for him. It's looking like he is going to get the win, but right now we are watching the battle for second. Stephen Rochefort taking a shot down low under Scott Rochefort, but he falls way behind, and that's going to give a big run to Eddie Hughes, who's going to get that 3rd place spot. So top 3, Logan Powers gets the win, Scott Rochefort 2nd, Eddie Hughes 3rd. And there we go. We see Powers doing a well-deserved burnout. What a race it was for him. And remember, after this broadcast, stay tuned, because we will be going back live in just a couple minutes after the stream ends with the SCSRA Xfinity Series coming from Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second Triple Crown race. And Powers continuing to do those burnouts. Looks like he has been practicing for this. That's going to give him his third win of the season. What a dominant year it has been so far for Powers, yet he is not the point standings leader. And now a Polish victory lap for Logan Powers. He is taking it onto pit road now. So it looks like there's no drivers in the waiting room in the top three. So we're going to go ahead and in the stream to get the broadcast ready for the SCSRA Xfinity Series. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. We want to thank the Mayhem Racing League for letting us do the broadcast and the sponsors, Majors Garage and Club Jerky. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the broadcast on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 2,000 followers on Facebook for our 2-year anniversary, which is April 28th. Same thing, 1,000 on YouTube, and I think we can do that as a racing and iRacing community. Make sure to also check us out on Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We are always dropping polls on there, and we'd love to hear your opinion. And we're trying to get to 50 followers on there by our 2-year anniversary as well. So, I'm Atlee Atman-Weaston on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Over and out.